Juicing with the Peach is an experiential interview with Peaches McCahill, owner of the McCahill Group. Partnering with Clean Juice, we sit down with local business and community leaders to discuss their latest projects, challenges they've overcome, and get the juice on where they're headed. Born and raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Tasha Blackmon is a dynamic, collaborative leader, mentor, and coach who brings more than 20 years of business operations experience to her role as President and Chief Executive Officer of Cherry Health. Leading Michigan's largest federally qualified health center since 2005, Blackmon has championed health justice through aggressively disrupting healthcare disparities. She is passionate and personally driven, continuously learning and bringing innovative solutions to health in her community, and brings that same zest for life to her family and personal relationships.
Just so great to have you here today. I don't know Tasha Blackmon, so from Cherry Health. I've known you for a couple years, and so I know it was super difficult to get something in your schedule, but we're here to spend a little time talking about you and doing a little juice. So we're going to open up with our first juice.
Okay.
Are you a juicer or?
You know what I do? So I actually, my mother bought me a juicer for Christmas one year. Okay. So it's been great to have it.
So this first one is wheatgrass,
and
it's from Clean Juice. And so wheatgrass itself is just awesome because it's full of chlorophyll. And so I don't know, my kids think it tastes like grass. But so we're going to start. Cheers.
Cheers.
There we go. Tell us a little bit about your journey. How did you kind of get where you are?
So, my journey is probably similar to other folks' journey. I was going to Michigan State University to be a doctor. So my goal was pediatrics at the time. And, as I was studying and I was in my last year, I had this epiphany that I really didn't want to be a doctor.
Okay.
So then I had to grapple with this whole idea of, my parents wanted me to be a doctor, but that wasn't what I saw for myself. Sure. And it really came to a head when I had an opportunity to shadow with a doctor and got to experience firsthand what that would look like, and just decided that wasn't what I wanted my life to be. Okay. But I was in my last year of school, so then what do you do?
Right.
So what that meant for me was taking a break and, going out and experiencing other things. Well, what I found was that I love business. Okay. So I had an opportunity to work at a for-profit organization. And
was this in Grand Rapids?
This was in Grand Rapids. Okay. And it allowed me to marry this education that I had that was science and health related with this love for business. So that's how I ended up in healthcare administration.
Okay.
So then, I was promoted fairly quickly within that organization and was there for 10 years. So my first job out of college, I worked for 10 years. Oh. Now I moved up within the organization, but then I had a chance meeting with Chris Shea, who was the CEO of Cherry Health at the time. And we kept running into each other. And, at one point I just said, hey, I want to understand more about your organization. Because, we talked a little bit. I got a chance to experience the organization. And, not long after that, I actually received a job opportunity at Cherry Health. So I started off as a site manager, which really was a step back from the job that I had previously. But I think at that time in my life, there were a lot of transitions happening. My daughter was going to be going to school. I was thinking about grad school, and I needed a job that, was more conducive to raising a family. Mm-hmm. And that was Cherry Health at the time. So it gave me an opportunity to have that work-life balance that I was looking for. And then after my daughter, basically got older and didn't want to be bothered with mom anymore, I went to grad school. So I got an MBA. Now I'm at Cherry Health. I've been there for 17 years, believe it or not. And I've held 6 positions within Cherry Health. So I got an opportunity to experience all of the different service lines that we offer. And had an opportunity to, also try to impact those service lines as well, and got a chance to work with some incredible staff. I mean, more than anything, I would say that our staff at Cherry Health they inspire me every single day, every day.
Well, let's cheer to that, huh? So,
Yes.
Some elderberry. So we've had that. So we're gonna toast to the staff at Cherry Health
Yes.
and all the great work that you are continuing to do.
Now that one's good.
Hey, you like that one?
I really like that one. It's got a little bit of a spiciness to
Yeah.
it.
Good.
Like
Yes,
that.
they're all a little bit different, but all work for immunity in a variety of categories.
Okay.
In the community, you're looked at as an outstanding leader.
Hmm.
And so I admire your work, and I know you mentor people. So what would you tell individuals out there listening? What do you think is really necessary in order to really be a great leader?
So I think that self-awareness is really great. You have to really know yourself to be able to support people in their professional development. So I think having that awareness is key. I think also recognizing that it's not about you. That
Right,
even
right.
though people
sure.
may point to you as the leader, you have to understand that it's not about you. While they're pointing to you, you're always pointing back to the team doing the real work. So for me, I think that would be the second thing. I think the third thing is never stop learning. Continue to read and go to conferences and watch videos and always experiment with new ways of approaching old problems. So I think that being a great leader means empowering and emboldening your team to speak up, to feel comfortable speaking out if they don't agree with something,
Yeah,
but to also feel supported maybe when they make a mistake or when they don't do something maybe in the way that you think that they should do it.
I think that's an awesome thing to toast to as well.
Let's toast to that.
Yeah, I will toast to that. So, immunity. Let's see what you think about this one.
Okay.
A little carrot and ginger in here, so to that little, dilly or whatever.
Right. Yes.
Taste that ginger?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, there you go.
That was great.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, so if you need water, there's some of that too.
It's good.
As we mentioned earlier, I'm part of the Cherry Health Foundation board, and I know we've got some exciting things coming up. And as a nonprofit, of course, we always have to think about fundraising.
We do.
And so, can you tell us a little bit about some of the things that are going on in current fundraising opportunities for Cherry Health, and a little bit about Cherry Health in case people aren't aware?
Yeah, absolutely. So first I want to say thank you for your contribution to Cherry Health, because you add so much positivity and you're a force. So I just want to thank you for,
thanks. That's so sweet.
for just being involved with Cherry Health, because you could be involved with any organization. So I'm happy that you choose Cherry Health. Cherry Health in general started in 1988 to meet the needs of underserved individuals in our community. We provide medical, dental, behavioral health services. We've got pharmacies, we've got a residential reentry program, we've got school-based health centers. So we provide services to individuals who have traditionally been marginalized, who are under-resourced, and we make sure that we're providing quality services. So comprehensive care in a compassionate environment where people feel loved. That's what it boils down to. They feel loved. And just a little bit about our fundraising,
Right.
because fundraising is such a vital part of any nonprofit organization. Right. So at our prescription strength event, which is actually on May 17th, that particular event takes an opportunity to look at a specific area of Cherry Health, and it offers more of a deep dive into that particular area. So this year we're focused on chronic disease management. We know that underserved communities tend to face chronic disease at higher rates than any other
Absolutely.
community. So we know that innovation is necessary to meet people where they are. We know that individualized care plans and personalization helps these individuals to set goals with their care team, and then they have an accountability partner that they work with to ensure that they have all of the, enabling and support services that they need around them, so that they can accomplish those goals. So I think that you all will be very excited to hear some of the outcomes that our patients are having. And these outcomes are going to be, a national model for how people approach, for example, diabetes care. And we've also been very successful with closing the gap on hypertension. We received the National Kidney Foundation Award for our work on hypertension. And typically with hypertension, you can look at specific pockets of your population and you can say that group probably has high hypertension, whereas that group may have more controlled hypertension. Well, within our population, you can't tell the difference because we've stabilized. Now, our next event is our celebration event. So celebration happens in the fall, and this is a more formal event. And we take a different approach because prescription strength, we've now introduced you to the organization. With celebration, we're able to really amplify some of the work happening across the organization, complete with, patient testimonials, with really the value proposition. Why is it important to give to Cherry Health? And what I would say is, our community is a community that I would call generous. We're a generous community because we care about each other. We've talked a lot recently about healthcare disparities. And Cherry Health is on the front lines. We're an incubator across the state and really across the country. I think that once you get a chance to experience it, you won't help but want to give.
Well, that's what happened with me. I went to one event, and now I'm on the board. But I think there's so many great programs that just have been outstanding in terms of outcome. And I'm trying to get some younger people understanding too. So that's one of the things, getting them involved at an younger age. But so wellness, health, obviously that's what we do at the McCahill group. And we're really about making a move. And making one move. And we're all at different levels. And it's not just about diet and exercise. It's about, thoughts and, feelings and sharing the love or whatever it might be in terms of well-being. So my final question is really, so what's your move? What's your next move?
So I would say that one of the things that my parents taught me was to be kind to myself. And, there are struggles that all of us face.
Absolutely.
Like for me, I enjoy exercise, but it's a struggle, for me. I'm an endomorph body type, and anybody that knows about endomorphs, we tend to put on weight easily, and it's very hard to take it off. The one thing that I am proud of about myself is that I never quit trying. So for me, even if I have to start back over 1,000 times, that's what I'm going to do until I figure it out. So my next move is to just continue loving myself, to continue taking care of my mental health. I would say the last 2 years have been especially difficult, just from a stress-related standpoint, from a mental health standpoint, from caring for my staff. Just from all of the pressures that I think have been precipitated by COVID-19. But the truth is, it made us stronger, in so many ways. I got to see our community come together in so many ways. So I am feeling positive, as we're transitioning away from COVID-19 and, again, just realizing how important it is to prioritize your health, whatever that means to you. So, you might be failing in one aspect, but maybe from a mental standpoint, you're good. And I would say mentally, I'm good. I have joy, even despite some of the horrible things that are happening around me. I acknowledge those things that are hard. And, I advocate for what is right. But I also still have a baseline of joy. And that's something that I think that makes me, But next up is just continuing to love myself, whatever stage I might be in, and to never give up, to just keep trying to be better every day.
I hope everyone's hearing those words of wisdom better every day, 1% forward. So thank you so much for your time today and all the things you've shared with us. So we're going to end up with one little shot. And I'm going to, my salutation here is really to your health, Tasha.
Thank you.
Ooh, that one.
That was very spicy, but I actually think I like it the most.
We should have started out with that one. Good way to end. Thank you again, Tasha Blackmon from Cherry Health, and great leader, all known throughout the city of Grand Rapids and thereabouts. I think you're going to be a national leader as we watch you continue to develop and grow. Appreciate your time, and everyone else's. We encourage you to make your move.
Thank you for joining us in another fun episode of Juicing with the Peach. The McCahill Group is committed to partnering with organizations to make moves for better physical, emotional, and mental fitness. Explore everything our team has to offer at McCahillGroup.com.